Hello, everybody. Allison Steinberg here with LindellTV. We are joined by Mary Flynn O'Neill, the sister of General Michael Flynn. Mary, thanks so much for being with us today, and tell us a little bit about what you do and why you're here in D.C.
Right, I'm cruising through. So I am the Executive Director of America's Future. It is a 501c3, oldest one in the country. It's 80 years old in 2026. And back then in 1946, before the Cold War, we were many writers, entrepreneurs, and military warning the American people about the infiltration of communism, which at that time there was probably over 2,000 card-carrying organizations, communist organizations. And so that's what these people were doing. And here we are, right, in 2025, fighting all kinds of enemies, CCP, Islam threat, the radical Islam threat, and the cartel, and the many really nefarious criminal entities that we are fighting, all wanting to destroy children, or make money off of abusing children or grooming children or whatever it is they do, because they all do something that's very harmful to children, and that harms our country because they're our future. And so we have Project Defend and Protect Our Children, which is a nationwide initiative educating the grassroots. My brother had Local Action, National Impact, and that's really where we go, is in the local communities and try to get them to understand how to protect their kids, but weed out the corruption that's inside their communities and the threats that are in their communities, because that's really where we have to focus, is the local communities, because it's not going to be D.C. that's going to solve our problems, as we all are seeing happen, And we also have a legal project, and legal and policy project. We probably have maybe over 35 cases in the Supreme Court, U.S. Supreme Court. We fight first for First Amendment, Second Amendment, big cases. We've won the Chevron case. We just won a big Second Amendment case, and we've had 9 victories in a row. So I have a really powerful legal team that is writing incredible amicus briefs, fighting these cases that all have to do with our individual rights and losing our rights, our Bill of Rights, our constitutional rights. So that's what we fight. And then we have a citizenry project so we faith, family, and freedom. So this organization covered everything, because it was the first nonprofit. So it doesn't focus on one thing, but it focuses on what the values and principles of our national government, our country is. So that's what we fight for. So
that's wonderful. Well, it's so important. People like yourself are so important to the community, because I just feel like we're living in this time where people are so distracted, they're not engaged, they don't care, and it's really sad to see, because our country is almost slipping away. I mean, if we had had another 4 years of Biden or whoever, right, it would have been terrifying.
We got to be careful because of this, even these primaries, and people have to go out and vote, and they really, if they're so discouraged, and I know they are, I know people, but this is an endurance race. The enemies want to exhaust us, and that's what we need to understand, that we can't let them defeat us by being exhausted. We have to fight for this country, because we're fighting for our children, our generations to come. We lose this country, we lose everything in this world globally. People all over the world in other countries are like watching what we're doing and what's going to happen to this country. And I know that well, because the Flynns fought a tough fight with my brother's persecution, and we know what that's like to be weaponized, the government to weaponize against a family. And so it's something that we will never stop fighting for. Like Mr. Lindell, he's a fighter. He's a true hero.
He really is. And again, it's just so important, and I love that you talk about all the efforts to defeat your efforts and whatnot, but to not back down and not let that impact you negatively is the most important thing. And I feel like people are getting complacent, they're getting fed up, they're angry, they're frustrated, they're not seeing what they want to see happen right now. So what would your message be to the American people that are like have total voter fatigue, they have lost trust in the system? I mean, where do we go from here?
Well, I say go into your local communities, fight there. Go find out who's on your school board, because you're going to find a lot of communists and you're going to find a lot of Marxists. So those school boards are very important. So if you don't want to focus, and stop watching mainstream media, because the mainstream media is activism, and it's bad for our country, and it's propaganda, and it's all this nonsense, because they are lying to you. And if you don't know now, then you really need, I don't know, you need some real counseling, because it's in our faces. I mean, we can see what the enemy is doing to us and who is for or against us. So, it's very obvious. They're very bold. And so I think the community, that local action, worry about what's outside your own home or down your street or in your city council or in your own government. Look for candidates that want pro-life, that are pro-life. Now, and I don't mean, I do mean abortion. I'm totally against, I am for pro-life. I am completely 360 pro-life. But I'm talking about, we need to get out of the whole death cycle, because there is an evil side to what's going on in this country, and the evil side is they're amping up, and because they don't want to lose, and that's the big thing that we have to do. We have to push back and go back to what our founding fathers developed and brought to this country and created this country, because God anointed this country. We have to remember that. It's on biblical principle. This is a Christian nation. Sorry, it's a Christian nation. And we got to go back to God, because we're going to be punished if we're not. He will punish. He will come back at us. You see countries like Ireland, you see England especially, they have been destroying cultures and communities and nations since, a very long time. I mean, they really have done some very serious things all over India, Ireland, they've been in every country there is, nation there is, to control it. And look at their own nation right now. The king has completely thrown his own church, who's the head of the church, thrown it into the enemy's hands. We cannot mutilate children, and we cannot mutilate women. Sorry. And we love men. That's what we love. We love men.
And it should be very black and white. It's just very simple stuff. But unfortunately, people have been so brainwashed by the media that you mentioned, by, these Democrat politicians that they blindly follow as if they're some sort of God, which is, it's despicable. This is really a spiritual war.
It is.
And it's time for us to put on the full armor of God and fight back and not give up. But with that, I know you said you've also been fighting on the election front too. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, election integrity. We have a whole, so go on AmericasFuture.net, and we have built amazing libraries.
Okay.
And the one library, this election integrity library, it has every state, and you go into your state and go into your communities, and you'll get a whole bunch of resources that will help you understand what your election processes are, what your policy process, what you need to do as a poll worker, as whatever it is you need. These libraries are amazing. We also have a legal library that is full of information on how to protect your rights, your children, your families, your faith, your freedom. They're weaponized everything, all these systems against the American people. My family knowing it very well, but there are others that have been targets as well. And we lose our Republican, and that's another thing is, clean out your Republican GOP. Clean it out. Yeah. Clean it out.
Yes.
Just clean it out. I mean, these values that they stand for are the real conservative values, the ones that will stand up against all this criminal stuff that's going on. And so there's all kinds of resources that you can do. And you can also read about all the cases that we are on, because these cases are going to reflect what your communities can and can't do. For example, this Chevron case that we won, that has to do with cleaning corruption out of agencies. So go look in your local communities to see all this government federal funding that came down to you, that's in your communities that you don't want there, okay? And that's all the woke stuff and all the DEI stuff and all that stuff. I mean, it's nonsense. Get it out. Your kids don't need to see that stuff. It's a grooming process that they're doing. They're grooming kids, but they're grooming Americans too. That's why you see this 18 to 25-year-old, the girls especially, that literally voted Mamdini into office. These girls, that age group is so groomed as to communism being okay or socialism, it's okay. There's no version of that. They may say, this is great, and they made it look like it is, but it is not.
Which is the story of time, right? That's how everyone
That's
has
right.
fallen into communism. And guess what? You can't vote your way out of it once you get it. So let's not go there. And I think that's why it's so critical, to your point, to get involved at a grassroots level, be active in your community. Don't expect DC to solve all your problems, because nothing's getting done here. It is on you, the individual, to do the work yourself and to get involved in your own community.
We have a duty as well. As a citizen, we have duties as citizens. We have a duty to vote. We have a duty to vote. That is a right that some people don't understand the impact of what your duty is. I mean, citizenry is important, and take it very seriously. If you do, your kids will see you do that too. You'll be teaching generations. That's how my parents and our grandparents, worked as far as becoming, loving your nation, loving your country, being patriots, and loving God, loving your mother and father, and so forth. And there's struggles in every family, but that's the greatness of it. American exceptionalism is, and we also have these great books that we write too. So we have a new set coming out, citizenry guides, that are going to be mind-boggling for parents and everybody. And the other thing is that many people are wondering about this event coming up. We have this Champions Network, and we have a network of champions in every state, and that is General Flynn's Champion Network. He talks to them every month, and he interacts with the champions, and they have a big job to do with election integrity. There are certain things that we're going to ask the champions to get involved, because they do. People want to get involved with things. They don't know what to do sometimes. And so we're having a big event at Mar-a-Lago, the president's home, and we're going to celebrate the second annual champions, and we have giving awards to some great people that deserve it. We have Angela Steaton, who is a pro-life woman. She's amazing. We have Hendrickson. He took he was the wrestler that won the I don't know what award it was that he got, but President Trump, he wrapped the flag around him. They're just real fighters for champion for America. So yeah.
And when is that event coming up?
December 16th, next Tuesday coming. Yeah. So we get
around the corner.
Yeah, we do a big event up there. We get some good music and so forth. We love to go to the president's house because, this organization has many cases in front of the Supreme Court that are helping his agenda, because they're filing lawsuit after lawsuit on his moves, and he has the separation of powers rights. He has the right to be the commander in chief and do what he's doing. He should actually do a little more. I can help you with that.
Well, he should take you up on that, because we need to get done all we can in this critical point in time here. So with that, Mary, I'd love to know your final thoughts. Do you think that we can actually turn this ship around and get back on the right track? I know it seems like everything is in such a disarray, and we've endured so much, especially under the Biden regime, and now Trump is trying to clean up all this mess. Do you think it can be done and get prevent the inevitable communist takeover that would happen if not, I think, for President Trump? What do you think?
Well, I do, but I think he needs a lot of help. I think he needs the American people to voice their opinions, to tell him what they want, because he listens to that, and good, because the American people put him in. They gave him the presidency, and they gave him Congress, and we cannot throw that away. And they're not doing enough. I mean, I'm going to push. And I want the American people to push. And I want them to just keep on pushing, and don't be afraid. Fear is what the evil side wants us to be. They've had us under fear. COVID, for an example, fear. So we need to break those clouds and continue to be courageous. And together we can do this. We can. We're not going to lose this country, because 3% founded this country, and 3%, it's a bigger 3% now because there's more people, will save this country. So we will not let this country fall.
I love the words of encouragement, and I think you play such a critical role in saving the country. So thank you for that, and let people know where they can find you and follow all the great work that you're doing.
Sure, americasfuture.net. Just go there and you will just be amazed. It's a great website, full of stuff, full of information.
Mary Flynn, thank you so much. Appreciate it.